Gibson and Pooney, 1, 2, 3. Then West, Nugent, Rodriguez, followed by the bottom three in the order, Hanel, Kostoyanopoulos, and Mealer. Kiki Malloy, who earlier in her career, I believe earlier this season, in fact, set the Tennessee program record for home runs in a career, leads things off as that ball just misses at the knees. 1-1 the count to Kiki Malloy, a Woodinville, Washington native, a 5'11 senior, and pound for pound the best offensive weapon this year for Tennessee.
I don't see many leadoff hitters with 9 home runs, but she is one of them, and that's dangerous because it shows she can get on base with that 355 average, but if you get through the lineup and then you have a couple on base getting back to the top of the lineup, she also proves that she can hit the deep ball.
355 the average coming in as that pitch misses high and outside. And a hitter's count 3-1 on Malloy. You mentioned power. Tennessee has a good mixture of average and power 1 through 9. That's down and in. The walks have been a bit of an issue recently for Aspen Wesley, and she walks Malloy to begin the ball game.
Yeah, I think good eye from Malloy, though. Went down in the count 0-1 and then took 4 straight balls. Just really smart, didn't force anything. And sometimes all it takes is you got to take that one strike and see if you can get a couple lucky pitches, and she's able to get on base just like that.
The team best 17th walk drawn this year as Malloy gets on, and she is a threat to run the bases. 20 stolen bags this season. As McKenna Gibson, the junior out of Santa Clarita, California, steps in. And there you see her numbers on the year. She actually leads the team with that 376 batting average. That catches the upper half of the strike zone. The count evens up 1-1. Malloy on at first. The fastest runner on Tennessee's team, at least in the lineup. Gibson at the plate. Pooney in the on-deck circle. That catches the inside corner. Nicely done. A ball and 2 strikes now. And it looks like early on, some of the calls that Wesley did not get, trying to hit the corners against Malloy, she is getting, facing Gibson, the very next batter. Gibson down in the count, has to shorten the swing and fight off a few pitches, and she did so right there nicely to keep that bat alive. 41 hits on the season to lead the team. McKenna Gibson, the junior third baseman, at the plate right now. 1 on, no one out. A slow roller back to the circle. Wesley fires it over. And that'll work as good as a sac bunt would have in that situation. Tennessee does get a runner over to second base, less than 2 outs.
Yeah, advances the base runner, but Mississippi State picks up a big out 1 of this first inning, and you get to move on through the lineup now. An awkward ball coming back at Wesley, though. Pitch was off speed, got a piece of it. A very slow roller, but handled it very well.
It brings up now another strong right-handed bat, Zeta Pooney, the senior, and starting DP for Tennessee. Change up right there, freezes Pooney for strike 1. 5'8 senior out of Carson, California. There you see her numbers on the year. 8 home runs, 27 runs driven in. High fly ball, foul, and into the stands. Ricochets down, and that'll be strike 2. 0-2 the count as Pooney is in the hole against Wesley. With Riley West in the on-deck circle. If either of them can reach, then Sophia Nugent, the catcher, will be up. Out to short. Thrown across in plenty of time. Malloy gets to third safely. Pooney grounds out. There are 2 gone in the top of the first.
Yeah, and good play from Kylie Edwards at shortstop, not to try and do anything fancy and get the out at third. Just went with the easy out to first. Now you have a runner on third, 2 outs, and you're 1 out away from getting out of this inning. I think that's the smart play.
You've got Edwards at short, Barbary at third. That's the left side of the Bulldog infield. Hawkins at second, Kennedy at first. Wesolowski behind the plate, Wesley in the circle. In the outfield from left to right, St. Clair, Sacco, and Cook as the senior Riley West steps in for Tennessee. A good hitter. Hits one through, and that will drive in a run. Tennessee is on the board, 1-0, an RBI single from Riley West.
And a solid hit put in between that gap between shortstop and third base. Slow roller. It looked like Nadia Barbary might have had a chance. Can't get there, then Kylie Edwards might, and just not in time, and that's a big RBI single for West.
Just simply hit it where no one was. A seeing eye single. Lady Vols on the board, 1-0. The inning continues as Nugent steps up and takes strike 1 from Wesley. The leadoff walk comes back to bite the Bulldogs. And Nugent, a .305 hitter. That's a good batting average for a catcher. Oh, big time cut right there and just missed it. And she calls time.
Aspen Wesley has done a great job since Malloy to get out in front of the count, though. Struggled and gave up the leadoff walk, but since then, she's been able to get out in front of the count. Might have brought a run in as well, but she's done her job either going up 0-2 or 1-2, so she just got to put it all together now.
Yeah, Tennessee's not been able to hit anything hard so far here in the first, but a Riley West 2-out RBI single has given them the early 1-0 lead. That's West's 25th RBI of the year as Nugent fouls that one back to stay alive. West is running at first base. Her base hit to left drove in Malloy, who was walked to begin the inning. Rodriguez in the on-deck circle. The right-handed hitting sophomore, if Nugent can keep the inning alive. Hits one hard but foul as she was way out in front of that changeup from Wesley. An absolutely gorgeous Friday evening here in Starkville. And a nice crowd has gathered here at News Park. Pop-up that will drift out of play and into the seats. Nice grab there, just to our right. So the at-bat continues. There you go, Souvenir. 0-2, the count remains. 20 pitches thrown here in the first inning for Wesley. But she's one pitch away from getting out of the inning. And a good swing there to stay alive as Nugent continues to battle.
Yeah, this has been a long at-bat as well, and when you look at the count, still 0-2, so even though it's been a long at-bat, Aspen Wesley is still yet to surrender a ball and is forcing a bunch of foul tips to keep this at-bat alive.
Slow roller, out to third, throw across the diamond in time, and Nugent for Mississippi State, one of the best leadoff hitters in the SEC. Takes one down and away, ball one, and we're underway here in the home half of the first. It'll be Sacco, Barbary, and Kennedy, followed by Blaine, Wesolowski, and Cook, then Edwards, Hawkins, and St. Clair. That misses off the outside edge of the plate to the lefty Sacco. Junior out of Marrero, Louisiana, began her collegiate career at Louisiana Tech. Now in her first season in Starkville, and she's had a great inaugural campaign here for head coach Samantha Ricketts. That ball does catch the outside corner, and the count 2-1. 528 on base percentage is perhaps the most impressive stat for Sacco this season. Sees the ball incredibly well. That ball comes in and misses. Hitters count 3-1 on Sacco. Pickens has walked only 25 hitters on the year in over 112 innings. And she just walked her 26th. So we saw Tennessee get a leadoff walk in their first at-bat. The Bulldogs counter with a leadoff walk of their own.
Sometimes it's the nature of the game, and it seems to be the case tonight. You give up that leadoff walk in the top of the first and then surrender or a run. I'm sure you're thinking, if you're Mississippi State now, let's do the same exact thing, maybe add a couple more on. But this is one of those matchups you look forward to in conference play when you get one of the best pitching squads versus one of the best hitting squads, and they get to go at each other and see what can happen, who proves to be better on any given day.
Nadia Barbary at the plate, the sophomore out of Douglasville, Georgia, her first at-bat tonight. That ball misses down and in. The count evens up. You've got Pickens in the circle. Nugent is the catcher. Gibson at third, Mueller at short, Rodriguez at second. And that ball does nick the inside corner, and everything so far from Pickens to Barbary has been attacking the inside corner to the right-hander. Ground ball, that's a fair ball. Down the corner and left. This will roll all the way to the wall. This will score Sacco. That's an RBI double for Barbary, and the SEC's best offense. Here they go again. They answer immediately, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, that was a solid hit from Barbary. Wasn't sure initially if it would stay fair, and it does. And, I mean, just like that, we've got a tie ball game early on. Sends Sacco home. Had a plenty of time, and now you keep things rolling with Madison Kennedy, no outs, and you have a runner in scoring position early on.
The 34th RBI of the year for Barbary comes after she collects her team-leading 15th double of the season. Kennedy steps in, takes strike one. The numbers on Kennedy this year: a .405 batting average, a .518 on base percentage, and a slugging percentage over 1,000. That ball in the dirt, blocked up well by Nugent. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike to the Montgomery, Alabama senior, 5'10", right-handed hitting hitter who is putting together first-team All-SEC type of numbers so far here in 2024 as she takes strike two. A walk and a double. And we're tied at 1, home half of the first. Foul ball will do it again. A moment ago, I gave you the entire starting Tennessee infield except for the first baseman. That's where Kaslianopoulos is starting tonight. There she is, number 27. In the outfield for Tennessee, West and left, Malloy in center, Panel in right. Big time strikeout there for Pickens as she gets Kennedy, one of the SEC's best hitters, to go down swinging for out number 1.
Yeah, and if you're Pickens, that one's got to feel good after already giving a run up to get one of the best hitters in the SEC, not only get them out, but to strike them out and pick up the first out of this game for you.
Just blew that drop ball right past her. At the plate now for Mississippi State, the DP, Jesse Blaine, a right-handed hitting junior out of Pike Road, Alabama, a transfer from Auburn. And like Sacco, who we saw earlier in this inning, Cody, has had a great first season for Mississippi State.
And I think like Sacco, she would probably like to get on base as well, whether it's from a walk or a hit. But get things going quickly while you've already had a couple of base runners against Pickens.
Blaine hitting .358, getting on base over 48% of the time. Checked her swing as that ball missed outside. And the count's 1-2 with Barbary on at second, just one out. The Bulldogs looking for another base hit with a runner on base. Chopper. That's going to get right past the runner and into left field. Jumping like a track hurdler is Barbary. Tennessee's going to appeal.
I think it might have gotten a piece of Barbary because that ball changed directions.
Yeah,
We'll take a look at it. Barbary running the bases, and it gets a piece of her foot as she jumps.
Yeah, they're going to have to review this. Because from that angle, you can clearly see, and Cody, you're right, that it hit the back foot of Barbary. Going to be a tough break, I think, play.
After further review, the batted ball did make contact with the runner. The runner is out for interference.
So that's the right call.
Yeah.
So take the run off the board. Barbary is out.
Yeah, you take a look at it one last time. That left foot, as she tries to jump over it, just nicks it as she rounds third to score. And it may not be a call many people like, but it is the correct call.
Yes. And she sort of was in a situation right there where she couldn't really do much. Now the question is,
this challenge.
After further review, the batted ball did come off of the batter's foot. The result is a foul ball. We have 1 ball, 2 strikes, and both teams have lost their challenge.
all right.
So after all of that, we're just going to do it again.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, kudos to the replay official for making quick decisions and for making correct decisions. So after all that, it's a do-over. It's a mulligan.
Yeah, we're going to get a 1-2 count. Still 1 out. Barbary goes back to second.
I've never seen that. Oh, man. Are you not entertained? So here we go. Runner at second. 1 out. Oh, that ball comes in and hits her. It hits Jessie Blaine, and now State's got runners at first and second. And now Tennessee's going to, Karen Weekly, who's as good of a coach as there is in America, is going to come out and again wants the umpires. Now, she can't challenge here, I don't think. I think she simply wants the umpires to discuss it. 2 on base, less than 2 outs. The catcher, Wesolowski, at the plate now for State. That ball's in the dirt, and it hit her. Yeah, it hit her. So it's not a wild pitch. It hit the foot of Wesolowski, and Pickens looking unusually rattled a little bit here in the first inning, as the Bulldogs are going to have the bases juiced with less than 2 outs, and Cook is coming up. Barbary at third, Blaine at second, Wesolowski at first.
Yeah, this is something you don't expect from your ace either. Allowed an early run, and I think what's even more nerve-wracking for Tennessee is there's only 1 away. The bases are juiced.
Good pitch by Pickens. So Cook, in this situation, the senior right-hander, she knows she's going to get strikes, right? I mean, Pickens has no place to put her. Question is, can she get the bat around fast enough? Ooh. Just got a piece of that one and lined it straight into the Tennessee dugout. That may have hit somebody. That may have hit a Tennessee player in the dugout. I think I see smiles, though, so that's a good sign, right? But clearly,
Smiles tells me so.
Clearly, either somebody was hit or they almost got hit. Meanwhile, Cook, a swing and a miss, and what a great comeback there by Pickens to get the strikeout for out number 2.
Yeah, this is, if you're Tennessee and Pickens needed it, you've only got 1 out to go. They want to get out of this inning. You take a look at it, tried checking her swing, wasn't able to, and causes a strikeout. But if you're Mississippi State right now, you cannot leave 3 runners on.
That ball is going to get right out to the second baseman, Rodriguez, who will touch the bag and stay.
To catch up on, the score's only 1-1, but a lot happened in that first inning.
Back-to-back challenges on the same play by both teams. 1-1, top of the second, State pitching to Tennessee. Strike 1 delivered to Rodriguez, the sophomore second baseman. So a lot went kind of crazy there, but Pickens able to come back, bases loaded, and gets back-to-back outs to keep the ball game tied at 1.
Yeah, Mississippi State left 3 runners on, something you don't ever want to do, but I'm not sure it's something you can afford to do in a game like this either. When you get runners on, you have to send them home and get them home somehow.
Rodriguez looks at strike 2. So an interesting question has come up since Tennessee, their initial challenge was that the ball put in play by Blaine hit Barbary between second and third. That ball misses off the inside corner, count evens up. And they won that challenge. Then the Bulldogs say on the same play, hold everything. Before the ball was put into play, it actually was fouled off the foot of Blaine, the count now full, and should have never even been a play to begin with. State wins that challenge, which nullifies the entire play. So then, should Tennessee, I guess Tennessee doesn't lose their challenge. Both challenges are successful technically, but Tennessee's wasn't. At the end of it all, theirs wasn't, but it was initially, so they keep their challenge.
There's a lot going on. I mean, I don't know what's crazier at this point, that we had 2 challenges on the same play and both won, or if they're going to keep them.
Hard hit ball, going to be caught on a sprint back to the wall. Sacco hauls it in and robs Rodriguez of an extra base hit. What a play by the Bulldogs center fielder.
What a play is right. That's not an easy play from Sacco. This ball hit deep back to the warning track and just able to range back. Sticks her glove out there, has a little fun with it afterwards. That's a big out, because that could have been easily a double, if not a triple.
And it brings up now Panel with 1 gone and no one on. First pitch misses down and in. Panel, a sophomore, batting .270 on the season. And she is the 7th consecutive right-hander to come to the plate for Tennessee here to begin the ball game. In fact, all 9 in the lineup for head coach Karen Winkley bat right, which I'm not sure I've seen that this season. There's a nice strike thrown in there. And some might say, well, you got to mix it up some, but hey, if those are your 9 best hitters, who cares if they bat right or left?
Yeah, it's something you don't see very often in today's game, but
That ball lifted foul right over the head of Coach Weekly. 23rd year for Karen Weekly in Knoxville. Of course, for many years was the co-head coach with Ralph Weekly. There's Coach Weekly. Defending SEC champions, and they might go back-to-back the way they're playing in winning SEC regular season titles. That pitch just barely missed, according to Annette Bergman, and the count goes full.
that's a pitch that feels like it's gone either way tonight as well, so you really don't know what you're going to get.
Swing and a miss. Change of speeds there from Wesley, and she gets the strikeout for out number 2.
Sometimes it doesn't matter, though. Aspen Wesley comes back, delivers a strike for a strikeout, put it right down the middle, off speed, gets her swinging. 2 away for the Bulldogs.
Wesley looking good so far here in the top of the second as she'll face Kasoyanopoulos for the first time tonight. Rise ball just misses high. Julia Kasoyanopoulos, a senior from Mission Viejo, California. There you see her numbers on the year. Good defensive first baseman. And has had some issues against SEC pitching this year, but still solid offensive numbers for a bottom third of the order hitter. 1-1 the count. With Mueller in the on-deck circle, the inning is kept alive. This could drop in. No! Diving grab by Bradley St. Clair of the outfield for Mississippi State, flashing on this Friday evening, game 1 of 3 between the Bulldogs and Lady Volunteers, as Salyn Hawkins, the freshman middle infielder, leads things off for the Bulldogs. How about that for a true freshman season? .330 batting average. And what I've been impressed with this season so far from MSU's lineup is, yeah, they were good in the non-conference, but most teams who are in the SEC are really good in the non-conference. This lineup has not skipped a beat now in the heart of conference play.
Yeah, I think they've stayed consistent, and we've even seen some players excel, have gotten better in conference play. And staying consistent is one thing, but excelling when you go into conference play is really special.
That ball's going to sneak right under the glove of Mueller at short, and that'll be a leadoff base runner. I think they'll score it a hit, and Hawkins is on base.
It kind of just felt like slow motion a little bit, getting over to that ball, not in time, and it's a leadoff hit for Hawkins.
Leadoff single. The Bulldogs have gotten the leadoff batter on base in the first 2 innings of the game. And it brings up now the senior St. Clair. She is showing bunt and takes that one for a strike. Sandrock, Alabama senior St. Clair had the great diving stop and catch in left to end the home half, or to end rather the top of the second. And now she bats here in the home half of the inning. Oh, she missed it. Left the bat out there and missed it. So the bunt opportunity has now gone away, and St. Clair has to protect the plate down the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Hits one into left for a base hit. What a great job there by St. Clair. Shorten the swing. She might have even choked up some on the bat and pokes it into left. Back-to-back singles. The Bulldogs are cooking here in the second.
Yeah, and like you said, St. Clair showed bunt a couple of times and said, I don't need that. Just puts it into shallow left field and going down. Yeah, we still got a lot of ball to play, too.
You got some glow sticks in your bag?
I did not bring those tonight.
We can start a rave later on if you want to. 2 runners on base. Hawkins at second, St. Clair at first. Top of the order, Sacco is at the plate. She drew a walk and scored last inning. There you see Hawkins at second. No one out, showing bunt and missing is Sacco. Well, we saw St. Clair try to put a bunt down a moment ago. She couldn't do it. Now Sacco also trying to sacrifice the runners over. But that really fast drop ball is a hard ball to bunt. Sacco now swinging away, hits one into left. Coming around third is Hawkins. She will score. Sliding into third safely is St. Clair. Safe at first is Sacco. And the Bulldogs have their first lead tonight at 2-1. A base hit, a hit and an error on the play. And the Bulldogs are on top. Got the thumbs up and the thumbs down on the same play there from our official score.
Yeah, you take a look at it. It looks like should have been a routine play from Gibson. Maybe not routine, a lot of power behind it. But there you see West in left field just can't field it properly, which allows the run to score.
So give credit to Sacco for a single. And then an error charged to the left fielder, West. So a base hit off the glove of Gibson at third, and then West in left charged with the error, and immediately Barbary swing and a miss, but Sacco takes off for second, stolen base. And now the ball gets away from Nugent, coming in, sliding home safely is St. Clair, and the Dogs add to their lead. It's now 3-1 State.
I mean, what work from Mississippi State in these first couple innings. St. Clair able to take home, is safe. It's 3-1. You're getting on base, whether it's your territory for Pickens as well. I mean, has an ERA coming into tonight of .81. This is, and she's allowed 3 runs up on the board through 2 already. I think only 2 of those being earned, but still 3.
As of right now, yes, as of right now, 2 earned runs and 1 unearned run. So a single for Hawkins, a single for St. Clair, an RBI single for Sacco, plus an error. Hawkins scores on the play, and then a wild pitch as St. Clair scores from third, and Sacco advances to third. And there she is, Sierra Sacco, who's been on base twice already in the ballgame. 3-1, Bulldogs on top. In the bottom of the second, Barbary is the batter, and a huge strikeout there from Pickens for out number 1.
Yeah, that was a much-needed out for Tennessee. You take a look at it, puts it down low. Barbary swing and strikes out, but Tennessee's got to find some momentum. You allowed the 1 run in the bottom of the first. You've now allowed 2 in the bottom of the second. You've got to get out of this inning and start to put some momentum together. Otherwise, if you just keep allowing base runners and hits, they're going to be brought in eventually. That may not happen every single inning, but you keep allowing this to happen, it'll affect you in the long term.
And now you've got the best power hitter, maybe in the SEC, at the plate, where all she has to do is lift one to the outfield to more than likely drive in a run. 1-1 the count on Kennedy, who struck out her first time up. Did she go around? Yes, she did. Couldn't quite check the swing. And now Kennedy behind in the count 1-2.
Take a look at it. And yeah, just went around for strike 2, but just need something in the outfield to score a run.
Pitch misses down and in. Good block there by Nugent with Sacco, a good runner at third base, and the count evens up. And Nugent getting a workout behind the plate already tonight. Staying alive is Kennedy. 15 home runs on the year for Kennedy, 50 runs driven in. There you see her numbers on the year. Top 3 in the SEC, top 10 in Division I in those 3 offensive categories. What a great season. High fly ball, going to be shallow though. Handle comes over in foul territory, makes the catch, trying to tag and score Hisako, and she will. What a great run from the hugely athletic Sierra Sacco. And Kennedy does not get the base hit, but does get her 51st RBI, and the Dogs increase the lead to 4-1.
Yeah, we just looked at Madison Kennedy's numbers, and they're video game-like. Just continues to do insane things, and here's the RBI, and great play from Sacco to just get the outside of that plate. Didn't try and go central, stayed away from the catcher where the throw was being made. Very heads-up play from Sierra Sacco.
Nice slide, too, at home plate. So now there are 2 gone. That ball lifted foul, or driven foul, rather, down the line in left by Blaine, the DP, who ended up being hit by a pitch after we thought she had reached first on a fielder's choice. And then we learned, actually first we thought she had an RBI base hit. Then we thought, nope, she reaches first on a fielder's choice. And then we realized, oh no, foul ball. Do-over. And then hit by the pitch. State scores later. That was all back in the first inning. Bouncer out to short. Thrown across in time by Mueller. Good stretch tonight, Cody, pitching with a lead.
Yeah, didn't have the best first inning. Allowed a run. Come back and had a pretty quick second inning, and then your team in the bottom of the second puts 3 on the board to give you a 3-run lead. Mentality when you come out here is, let's keep it going. 3 up, 3 down, let's move on. But for Tennessee, really need to start finding a groove offensively and defensively. You have to start being a factor in this game, because as of right now, it's been all Mississippi State offensively and defensively.
Yeah. A leadoff walk to Malloy to begin the ball game. She scores later on a seeing eye single from West. And Tennessee has not been able to get anybody else on base since then, as the 9-hole hitter Mueller, the shortstop, will lead things off in this top half of the 3rd inning. That just misses the inside corner. Mueller followed by Malloy and Gibson. These are all 3 good hitters. Mueller, not your average 9-hole hitter with a .338 batting average. Oh, the leadoff walk. Leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter. And Tennessee is off to a good start offensively here in their 3rd at-bat.
That's the start you want for Tennessee. Get a base runner on early. Let's see if we can string together a couple of hits, bring a couple in. You don't have to take the lead right here and now. Yes, it would be nice if you did, but it's not a necessity, so let's just put a couple together and cut into this deficit.
Got a long way to go in this one, no doubt. Kiki Malloy already tonight, a walk and a run scored. Leads the team with 9 home runs. Runner on, no one out. That ball was almost a pitch out, as Wesolowski came up ready to throw just in case, as Mueller got a pretty good jump at first base. Mueller is the 2nd most prolific bag stealer on Tennessee's team this year. Snap throw to first, and almost, that was close, just getting back in time with a head-first slide is Mueller.
Yeah, and it looked like Mueller might have slipped on her way back to first. Yeah, and she does slip just a bit. That's a close call there.
Just got the bag, or just got back to the bag in time. The 1-2 to Malloy in the dirt, and the count evens up. So Malloy now hitting .355 on the season, a .473 on base percentage. Swing and a miss, a huge strikeout for Wesley. As maybe the most dangerous bat in Tennessee's order goes down swinging.
Puts it way upstairs, off speed, and Aspen Wesley this season with that changeup it's been very effective late in the count with striking batters out, and you see it again.
That ball climbed the ladder. And now here comes Gibson. .373 the average on the year. Grounded one back to Wesley her first time up. So she's 0 for 1 tonight. 32 runs driven in. That's a hard hit ball. Going to be gloved for the first. Oh, they almost turned a magnificent double play. But what a great job. One of their challenges, they will not use one here with 2 outs already in the inning. But my goodness, what a stop. First of all, Hawkins, great job just to get to the ball. But then to have the heads up mentality to flip it with the glove to her teammate, Edwards.
There are 4 different plays in that one play that are amazing. It's Hawkins getting to the ball, flipping it to Edwards, Edwards able to just grab it barehanded, and then to make the throw to first. If that would have been an out, I don't know what to say about a double play like that.
Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. The momentum squarely on the side right now of Mississippi State. Early in this one, though. Still a long way to go. 4-1 our score. A 1-2 count to Pooney, who is 0 for 1 so far in the ball game. That ball's outside. I thought no way that out was going to be recorded. And then it ended up being almost an inning-ending double play as that pitch misses just off the inside corner, a little bit low in the zone as well. 3-2 now, full count on Zeta Pooney, who's batting .264 on the year, grounded out to short her first time up. That ball is downstairs. Quality at bat for Pooney. And now there are 2 on base and a tying run at the plate in the form of Riley West. Tennessee comes in 30-6 overall, 10-2 in the SEC. They right now are leading in the SEC standings. It's a nice fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to West. It was her single in the first that got the scoring started for Tennessee. But so far, that's been the only run to score for the Lady Vols. That's strike 2. And West has watched them both, and now she's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Gibson at second, Pooney at first. 2 on, 2 gone. Swing and a miss. Wesley gets a
runs. I'm not sure many people thought they would do that against Pickens tonight, and they come out and do just that and continue to hit.
Wesolowski hits one that rolls all the way to the wall. She will slide safely into second base. Leadoff double from the freshman catcher, Wesolowski. And this Bulldog offense, we gave you the numbers. pregame, maybe the best lineup 1 through 9 in the SEC in terms of the mixture of average and power. They can hit 1 through 9, and Wesolowski and her teammates proving it so far against one of, if not the best pitcher in the SEC.
Yeah, and Wesolowski, a freshman, hitting 356 after that. I mean, I just don't know what more you want from a lineup like this Mississippi State lineup, who just finds ways to get on base and eventually bring runners home.
And Club News is having your new Tennessee pitcher is the right-handed Aussie, Charlie Orsini. Orsini from New South Wales, Australia, is your brand new Tennessee pitcher. And she inherits a situation where Mississippi State has a runner on at second, no one out. A veteran hitter in Cook at the plate. And there you see Orsini's numbers on the year as she makes her 14th appearance this season.
Yeah, and these are some important innings for Orsini. If you can just limit the damage, see if you can get a couple of scoreless innings and see if your offense can get you back into this one. It's anyone's game because we still have a lot to play.
Cook hits one over the head of West. Stopping at third is Wallace, the pinch runner. Back-to-back doubles as Cook stands up at second. And the Bulldogs greet the reliever Orsini rudely as Cook hits a bullet to the wall in left.
And sometimes it just doesn't matter who's pitching. If a team is on and they're hitting and they're getting it done, sometimes nothing can stop them, and that seems to be the case right now.
So Tennessee electing to take their ace Pickens out of the ball game fairly early, middle innings here in Starkville. And instead of going to their other big-time pitcher, Gotzel, they go to Orsini, and that ball's lifted out to the gap. And that's going to drop in. And that's going to score two. Back-to-back doubles, and it's all Bulldogs here in the third inning, 6-1 into score Mississippi State.
And that's a great hit from Kylie Edwards, who just finds the gap between left and center field. A whole lot of power behind it. Not enough to make it over the fence, but hit goes straight to the warning track. Brings 2 runs in and a 5-run lead for the Bulldogs.
Edwards drives in 2 runs with her double. And the crowd is really getting into it now at News Park on a Friday night in Stark Vegas. Hawkins is the batter. She takes that one down and in, ball 1. Orsini coming in, an ERA right around 3 with a whip of 1.5. Time is called. Wesolowski a double. Wallace pinch ran for her. Then Cook a double, Edwards a double. And State has tacked on 3 more runs already in the third. Still no one out. And you have Edwards standing at second base. And the Bulldogs are taking control of this one here in the middle innings. That ball blocked up nicely by Nugent, but it will be taken for ball number 2. 2 balls and a strike on Hawkins, who is 1 for 1 tonight. A single and a run scored last inning when State scored 3 in the second. They've scored 3 more already here in the third. And now they count 3-1. And Orsini is in damage control mode right now. A little excuse me swing. Back to the circle. Throw is low and off target. And that will score another Bulldog run. Sliding in head first at second is Hawkins and Mississippi State. Everything bouncing their way right now at News Park. 7-1 the score.
Anthony, you described it right there. Everything bouncing their way, figuratively and literally. Looks like it should be an out at first. Hawkins advances to second. A run scores.
That was, I think Hawkins was trying to check her swing.
I think so too.
And the ball just lands on the bat. Orsini got to it, lost her balance, has a low throw to first. Kasoyanopoulos couldn't glove it. And I'm not sure how you score that. But I do know one thing, the score on the scoreboard is 7-1 Bulldogs. And the fans here in Starkville are loving what they're seeing so far here in the first 3 innings. As St. Clair shows up and shows bunt. And I couldn't tell if she must have fouled that. That ball took a weird bounce, so it must have been fouled off the bottom there of the barrel for strike 1 on St. Clair, who is 1 for 1 tonight with a single and a run scored last inning. Shows bunt, a good bunt, right in front of the catcher. Throw to first is just in time. Just in time at first base. It does move the runner Hawkins over to third, and that is the first out of the inning. And I think we're going to see a challenge here from the Bulldogs.
That's a great bunt from St. Clair. Take a look at it.
Ooh,
it's close.
I don't know if that's enough, though, to overturn the call. I think she was out.
I think she was out as well.
Yeah.
In this situation, when you're up 7-1, it may not hurt to use a challenge, but you got to be cautious later in the game if Tennessee does get themselves back into it. It doesn't look like they're going to challenge it, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah, it was a close play, but a good play made by Nugent, the catcher.
Yeah, that's a heck of a throw from Nugent, because you cannot lay a bunt down more perfectly than what St. Clair laid down, and with that speed, that's why it is as close as it is at first. Instead, Tennessee gets the out, which they desperately needed. It did move Hawkins to third, however, and Mississippi State still a lot of time left in this inning, an opportunity to score once more, if not more than once.
And the top of the order, Sacco, is back up at the plate. Her third appearance at the plate in as many innings tonight against Tennessee pitching. That ball's downstairs. Nice job to keep it in front of her by Nugent. And the count evens up. Going back to the Hawkins at bat, that will be scored a single, an infield single, and then a throwing error charged to the pitcher. That ball is knocked up in the air by the first baseman. And Kasoyanopoulos throws to third base and gets Hawkins out before she can dive back to the bag.
And there's an argument being made to challenge this at third as well, saying she didn't step on the bag. Take a look at it.
Here's the rule.
After further review, the fielder was blocking the leading edge prior to reception of the ball. That is the runner is now safe.
Wow. So Mississippi State is now 2 for 2 on challenges. Now they have no more challenges the rest of the ball game.
Yeah, but that is a big challenge that they just won, because it keeps a runner on third and only one out in this inning where you've already scored 3.
That was
great call from Tyler Bratton.
Yes.
To have his team review that, though, because he knew immediately that they were going to win it, and they went ahead and did just that.
Barbary comes up swinging on purpose just to run some interference there as Sacco takes off for second. No throw attempted. And the Bulldogs have 2 on now in scoring position. So Sacco reaches on a fielder's choice. Off-speed breaking ball, and it's in there beautifully for a call. It's strike 2 on Barbary. 7-1. Actually, I'm sorry. Did a run score on that play? I don't think so, but we have conflicting stats being sent our way now. Scoreboard still says 7-1. Okay, we're getting the live stat feed all of a sudden said 8-1, and I started losing my mind there for a moment.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused myself.
7-1, Bulldogs had the lead, ball in the dirt, and the count evens up 2-2 on Barbary, who had a big RBI double in the first and scored a run as well. That ball is bounced foul left side. We'll do it again. Count remains even at 2-2. Orsini trying to battle her way through a very difficult home half of the third. The Bulldogs have scored 4 runs. And now they've corrected the stat broadcast. There we go. It is 7-1. Oh, a huge strikeout there for Orsini. Good job to get Barbary chasing one down and away for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a big out for Tennessee and a big swing and a miss for Orsini to pick out number 2. You had a couple of tough calls this inning, a couple of balls that didn't bounce your way, and after you just had a call overturned, that's a big out that you need to try and get out of this one.
And it brings up now Madison Kennedy, who on the evening is 0 for 1, struck out in the first, and had a sac fly RBI her last time up in the second. Hits one down the line, but foul. She was way out in front of that off-speed pitch, and the count evens up 1-1. So Kennedy now hitting an even 400 on the year. 51 runs driven in, has drawn 21 walks, has just struck out 15 times. That's down below the knees, good take, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. On the Bulldogs slugger with 2 on in scoring position, 4 runs already home. 3 runs already home on 4 hits in this at-bat. That ball lifted out to left, should be caught though, and is caught by West right along the line, and the inning is over. 3 runs on 4 hits though, aided by 2.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do. Allowed 7 runs in the first 3 innings. Your offense hasn't been going. You've got to get both your offense and your defense going to get yourself back into this one. It's not an easy task, but like you said, this isn't a team that goes away.
That ball fouled back by Nugent. Coach Weekly trying to encourage her team. The Bulldogs have scored in every at-bat so far. They've already chased Tennessee's ace, Pickens, from the game. They have their veteran Wesley in the circle, who has given up so far only 1 run on 1 hit, has 3 strikeouts, no extra base hits allowed. She'll face Nugent, Rodriguez, and Panel 5 through 7 this half inning, as that ball is fouled back and the count evens up 2-2. And a quick scoring clarification from the last half inning, where Tennessee was charged with 2 errors. You had the error at first base, which, by the way, they've gone back now and they have changed that from a hit and an error to just an error. This ball hit out towards Hawkins. Throw to first. And the new first baseman, Riley Hull, will squeeze it for out number 1.
Yeah, and it just feels like everything is going Mississippi State's way right now. Offensively, defensively, just all of it. Salyn Hawkins just makes an incredible play. A lot of speed from that ball, but able to glove it and make an easy throw to first and a quick out for the Bulldogs.
Rodriguez is now the hitter. She takes one off the inside corner. And then back to the scoring from last half inning. By definition, obstruction has to be called as an error. So when the obstruction call was made on the replay reversal, a error had to be charged to the third baseman, Gibson. So there you go. So Tennessee, 3 errors. So far, the Bulldogs have played errorless softball. And since that top of the first inning, where the Lady Vols took the early 1-0 lead, it's been all Mississippi State. He's Cody Blazak. I'm Anthony Craven. The count is 3-0 with no one on base for Rodriguez, the number 6 hitter in the lineup and starting second baseman for Tennessee. And that misses high, so a very rare 4-pitch walk issued. And that's what Tennessee needs right now, just some base runners.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of walks tonight.
This is the right fielder, Taylor Pannell. 1 on, 1 gone. Hard hit ball into the gap. St. Clair cuts it off, holding Allen at second, but a solid single from Pannell. And that's the best hit tonight for Tennessee.
Yeah, and that's what you need if you're Tennessee and Pannell. You really just need anything to get any kind of momentum you can get, and just hits it right over the head of Kylie Edwards. You have 2 runners on now, only 1 out. String together a couple of hits or a couple of walks, whichever it may be. Just continue to get on base.
2 on, less than 2 outs. Katslianopoulos swings out of her shoes almost for strike 1. Katslianopoulos, the first baseman for Tennessee, 0 for 1 tonight, flew out to left her first time up. A great diving catch, by the way, on that play by St. Clair in left. So her average has dropped to 266. With runners on in scoring position, she's hitting 238 on the year. Big at-bat here for her and her Lady Volunteers teammates. Trying to get back in the ball game. Foul tip, straight back for strike 2. And Cody, you mentioned the walks being Tennessee's best offense so far tonight. That's really been the only thing that's gotten Wesley in trouble at times in SEC play, because teams are only hitting about a $1.95 against her. But the ERA coming in had gone up to 3.59, and she gets a huge strikeout right there for out number 2.
Yeah, and you talk about the walks hurting her, but she comes right back and answers with a strikeout, and just everything going her way at the moment. Gives up a hit, gives up a walk, but not too worried about it, and comes and gets an easy strikeout.
And the number 9 hitter in the order, Mueller, now steps up. She drew a walk her first time up. And right now, Wesley doing a great job mixing and matching her locations and speeds and keeping Tennessee's offense off balance. Mueller hitting 338 on the year. Pops it up straight back and behind us for out, or for strike number 2. So now 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. As Wesley gets ready to throw pitch number 75. Hard hit ball. That's going to be gloved, and tagging the bag to get the force out is Nadia Barbary. Web gems all around. Riley White, as she makes just her 4th appearance in the circle this year.
It doesn't have a whole lot of work, but gets put in a very tough position. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for her.
Well, and what she's being asked to do right here, more than likely, is eat up some innings.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it would be, let's just get out of these innings. Let's be smart.
You got to save. If you're Coach Weekly, the thought process has to be, we got to save Gotzel for tomorrow. We can't throw her out there in the 4th inning of a 7-1 ball game. Now, if Lady Vols come back and get back in the ball game late, you might change that philosophy. But right now, this is the move. It just feels like one of those nights where everything is going the way of the Bulldogs and nothing's going right for Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's committed some errors. They haven't been particularly perfect with the plays they have made. Just a lot of moving parts, bouncing balls not going their way. I mean, we literally saw them challenge a play that they won, then got overturned because of a challenge on the same play that was a little earlier. So it's just a tough night for Tennessee.
That should have been the sign early on for Karen Weekly that it was not going to be an easy one tonight in Starkville. Leadoff walk is issued by White to Blaine. And there you see the Tennessee coaching staff. Tennessee, of course, last season won the SEC regular season and tournament titles. And they are in position to again do that, at least the season title here in 2024. Kiara Sells will run at first base for State after Blaine drew the walk to lead things off. And now Wesolowski, the Bulldog catcher, is at the plate once again. She was hit by a pitch in the first, and then she had a double in the 3rd. So a good night offensively already for Wesolowski, as she now has the on-base percentage up above 400. Lifts one out to shallow right field. Calling for it is Panel, and she makes the grab for out number 1. So nice job there by White to get the quick fly ball out. And it brings up Paige Cook. But Cook had one of those back-to-back-to-back doubles for State last half inning.
Yeah, and I imagine she would like another hit of some sort. I'm sure Mississippi State would like to add a couple more runs as well, whether it be for insurance or it's the number 4 team in the nation. Let's score as many as we can.
Yes.
I would imagine they may not take their foot off the gas yet.
Cook hits one into center field. Coming to third, rather, and sliding in safely is Sells. On the throw to third, Cook wisely takes off for second. And the Bulldogs offense in business yet again. 2 runners on in scoring position, just 1 out.
Yeah, and another great hit from Paige Cook, just puts it into the outfield and forces Tennessee to make a play, and they weren't able to get the out at third with Kiara Sells, and it allows Paige Cook to advance to second. Now, once again, more runners in scoring position for the Bulldogs.
Lady Vols did a good job to get that ball in and made a close play at third. But Sells was able to slide in safely, and now Cook will be pinch run for as Burney. That's Jaden Burney, number 5, will run at second. So a pair of pinch runners on the bags right now for State as Edwards steps in, and that ball is in the dirt. Blocked up well by Nugent, ball 1. Pickens got the start. Orsini pitched a little bit in the third, and now here in the fourth, the ball has been handed off to White.
Such a tough task for White as well. I mean, you come into it trailing 6. Not only that, you face a really good hitting team whose bats are incredibly hot tonight, and just have to find a way to get yourself out of these innings if possible.
That ball misses off the inside corner. Yeah, Tennessee just trying to stay alive defensively and in the circle, trying to give their offense a chance to get them back in the ball game in the late innings. That misses downstairs. 3 balls and a strike on Edwards, who reached on a fielder's choice in the first and then had a big 2 RBI double in the third when State scored 3 runs to break the game open. Oh, the green light on 3-1, a hitter's count, and Edwards just missed it on a nice rise ball from White. Edwards now batting .292. Hits a chopper foul, third base side. The count is full, or remains full at 3-2, as Edwards will stay alive for at least one more pitch. Edwards, one of the much heralded freshman trio of Edwards, Hawkins, and Wesolowski. They've started almost every game this year. They're first in college. Foul ball, gonna run out of real estate. Rodriguez, Panel, and Katsoyanopoulos, just no chance to catch all the way up to it. So count remains full. Now time called as Rodriguez has to tie the shoes.
Yeah, lengthy at bat for Kylie Edwards as well, and this is one that if you're White, you would really like to win this battle. It gets you the second out, maybe a little bit of momentum, and see if Tennessee can get out of this inning.
The payoff pitch. Again, Edwards fouls it off. The freshman having a very veteran-like at-bat so far against White. White has now only thrown 6 2/3 innings on the year. Of the 4 pitchers used this season by Tennessee, she has been the least used. And again, Edwards just gets a piece of it to stay alive. With runners on in scoring position this year, Edwards hitting .250. Hits one into the air, deep enough, should drive a run home as Panel makes the grab, throw Holmes off target, and that will be an RBI and a quality at bat for Edwards, and it increases State's lead now to 8-1.
Yeah, obviously if you're Kylie Edwards, would have liked to get on base, but especially with that kind of at-bat, but still gets to bring a run home, so it's not a wasted at-bat, especially a tough at-bat. Brings home a run, and Bulldogs just, they keep on playing smart softball, sacrificing plays, whatever it is, walks. I mean, it's all playing a part tonight, and that's why they're winning by 7 runs.
And it brings up the second baseman, Salin Hawkins.
You also take a look at that at-bat from Edwards. White had 10 pitches going into that at-bat. Half of her pitches are from Edwards.
Right.
Just a very long at-bat for Riley White, who just came into this ball game.
Tennessee's only lost 2 conference games all year. They're in serious danger now of dropping their 3rd conference ball game as they now trail by 7. Well, and now it's a situation where if Mississippi State scores one more run in this at-bat, Tennessee's down to the final 3 outs.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's in the back of Tennessee's heads right now. we can't get run ruled in game one of this series, and it's looking like a very real possibility at the moment.
You've got the runner at third base in the form of the pinch runner, Bernie. Sells just scored on Edwards' sac fly. This ball lifted into center field. Nice sliding catch made by Malloy. And that will keep Tennessee.
More impressive. They've both been crazy tonight. Who knows?
Grounder to short, thrown across by Edwards to hole in time, and Malloy is retired. Hitless so far tonight is Malloy, the top of the lineup hitter for Tennessee. And now the Lady Vols are starting to run out of outs. Trailing by 7, top of the 5th, as Gibson steps up, also hitless so far tonight. Slow roller, could be trouble. Throw to first is just in time. And the Bulldog infield continues to play flawless softball. Out number 2.
And how fitting that we look at their defense coming into this inning, and just like that, 2 quick outs, 2 very smart plays. Kylie Edwards, that's a slow roller, kind of awkward, but tracks it, gets the throw to Riley Hole at first, and there's your second out.
Nicely done by Edwards. Edwards, Hawkins, Barbary, Sacco, St. Clair. They've all had their moments defensively tonight through the first 5 innings. 8-1, Bulldogs on top, 2 gone, no one on base for Zeta Pooney, who is 0 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, we talk about some of these individual players from Mississippi State on defense that have made some really crazy plays, but I think credit goes to all of the defense who are errorless tonight. They've all been, maybe it's not as flashy as some of the other plays, but they're still doing their job, which is a big reason why Tennessee has only scored 1 run tonight.
And Aspen Wesley has done a great job in the circle, especially against the top 3 in the lineup. The 1, 2, 3 hitters for Tennessee combined 0 for 6 in the ball game tonight. Lady Vols only have 2 base hits in the game. And now 1-2 count to Pooney. Just missed downstairs. Count evens up. We've got Deuces Wild, 2-2 count, 2 gone. Dogs on top, 8-1. West in the on-deck circle if Pooney can keep the inning alive, and she does for at least 1 more pitch. And listen, Wesley's tried to get that strike called all night long in that location, and she's maybe gotten it 1 time.
Every once in a while she gets it. It feels like big moments like that, she just can't get the call and has to come back and deal a little more.
A full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Pooney, who drew a walk her last time up. So she has been on base once tonight. That was in the 3rd inning. We're now in the 5th inning. High fly ball, foul territory, ranging out his hole, and she makes it look easy.
Put up 1 run apiece, and then those middle innings, 2 and 3, putting up 3 runs per inning. It's just been really impressive, and it hasn't been 1 or 2 players that have contributed the most offensively. It's just been a little bit of everyone getting walks, having smart at-bats, and when it all comes together, it comes together, and you have a night like this.
Senior right-hander Aquana Brownlee will lead things off. She'll bat in place of St. Clair in the 9-hole. You've got Sacco and Barbary also due up this half inning. That ball is downstairs. Don't see any defensive changes yet for Tennessee. They've got still White in the circle. She's out there for her 2nd inning of work. That ball misses down and in. Brownlee, the veteran out of Houston, Mississippi. A relative of All-Pro NFL defensive lineman and Bulldog alum Chris Jones. There you go. They are related.
The more you know.
That's your fun fact of the night. The 2-2 is fouled back. Brownlee will stay alive. Brownlee's been a really good hitter in these situations for State this year. You don't see very many pinch hitters come out of the dugout batting .354 with a .458 on-base percentage.
Yeah, and she's had 48, this being her 49th at-bat. It's not like she's just had a handful of at-bats and is casually batting .354.
Right.
So you look at that and you go, that's a starter's batting average.
Yes.
And that, I think that just shows you the depth on this Bulldog team, especially as far as hitting goes.
And she gets a quality at-bat, does Brownlee, draws the walk. Leadoff batter is on base yet again. And she gets congratulated by the club news crew.
I mean, that is one loose team.
Oh, man, to be young and energetic, right? Gotta love it. You got those dance moves,
Yeah.
Cody?
I mean, that's...
Well, she's going deep into the bag
She
of tricks there.
is.
The full repertoire on display. So St. Clair has been re-entered into the ball game to run at first base after the walk is drawn by Brownlee. 1 on and no one out as the top of the order Sacco steps up for the 5th time tonight. Drew a walk and scored in the first, had an RBI single and scored in the second, and then reached on a couple of fielder's choices in each of her at-bats in the 3rd inning when State sent, by my count, 11 to the plate in that 3rd inning. They scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the 4th. Sacco hits one foul, first base side, and the count evens up. Well, our score bugs, there we go. It's 2-1. I said it evened up. I got ahead of myself. It's 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Didn't mean to confuse the fine folks there in the control room. That ball is actually going to be bunted foul. My goodness, that was Sacco squared up and trying to get out of the way, and the ball came running up in on her hands, and that'll be strike 2.
I think she'd rather take that than a fair bunt because that had a lot of pace on it. It was going straight to Gibson and most likely would have been an out at first. If not, a double.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been the force out at second base to begin with. You're right. Now the count's full. Sacco has the average up to .371 after a successful ball game that gets even more successful. St. Clair around second. She will stop at third. Throw comes all the way home. That's a single, her second of the night. And Sacco is on base for the 5th time in the ball game.
Yeah, and solid hit from Sacco. Just puts it on the ground, and that is a tough ball to field at that pace. Advances St. Clair to third. And now if you're Tennessee, you've got to be very, very cautious with how you handle this with no outs in this inning, already down 7.
Barbary swinging, hits a no. It's going to be a wild pitch. She did not make contact. That ball sailed right over the head of the catcher. St. Clair scores from third, and that's going to end the ball game. Mississippi State is going to run rule Tennessee.